Hello and welcome to HR from my shed. So today I'm going to talk to you about contracts of employment. It's been a little bit of an eye-opener during lockdown and certainly now coming to where we are now. How many companies haven't been issuing contracts of employment to staff, and how many companies are in a rush to issue contracts of employment to staff? So just for you to know, what the law says is that you should have written terms and conditions of employment by day one of employment. So we are having cases of people being issued contracts after maybe 15 years of service or even longer in some cases. And what a lot of companies are doing is going on the internet and searching for contracts of employment templates, which there are some, and they're pulling off very generic ones. And unfortunately, in some of the cases I've seen this week, very outdated ones. And ones that have contradicting information. So it's important that if you are issuing contracts of employment at the moment, that you're doing it properly, and that you're getting proper HR advice to do that, and that you're making sure that the contents of that contract of employment actually suit your business and the individual. One of the things that comes up quite a lot is notice periods. So whereas companies are dictating what the notice period is to terminate employment, and they may say across the board it's 4 weeks. Well, do you know what? That's all well and good. But there's a statutory requirement, an entitlement that gives people, if they've had more than a certain amount of years service, that their notice period increases. So in many cases, it may surpass that 4-week notice. So just because your contract says 4 weeks notice the employer has to give you, actually you have to cross-reference that with what the statutory requirements and entitlements are as well. So this is why contracts of employment need to be done properly and with some professional support. A lot of contracts I've seen this week as well have referred to, please refer to the employee handbook. And then when I've asked the owners, where's your employee handbook? Hey, surprise, surprise, they haven't got one. It's just wording that's in a contract that they've got off the internet that they've read, don't really understand, but it's still issued. So do you know that contract doesn't mean anything unless it's right. So please make sure that you get the contract right for your company and your employees. And also, just to let you know that you can change the terms of contracts of employment. We've had that query come through a few times, and I know we've talked about it before, but you can change terms and conditions. There are ways of doing it, but it is legal. It won't come to an unfair dismissal or, as in some places have said, constructive dismissal. So long as you're doing it the legal way with HR support, you can do it, and it's got to be justified and fair, of course. So contracts of employment are very important. It's a legal document. There's a timescale that you have to do it in, and there are certain contents in that contract of employment that must be there. So make sure that you do your homework, get the right HR support. And of course, if you need me to do a quote for you, drop me a message. And if there's a subject that you want me to talk about in HR from my shed, let me know. See you soon. Take care, everybody.